Cash flow and funding. These are two big topics, and it's always on a business owner's mind. Maybe it's been on yours as you think about how you're going to grow your business. Well, if that's the case, if you have ambitious dreams for your business, but you're finding that the money is a little slow to flow behind it, I'm here to help you today. So, howdy everyone. My name is Leslie Hassler. I own Your Biz Rules Business Coaching, and I work with women-led service businesses to grow and scale in a way that's profitable and sustainable so that you can do great work and build a brighter future for yourself, your team, and your community. And one way that we help is in this area of cash flow. So today we're talking about 9 proven ways to easily self-fund your business success. So let's start off with, I guess, an obvious part of the conversation, but still a worthy part in that, what's the problem here? Well, the problem is that when you need funding the most, typically it is the hardest to get. And in the banking world, they always say to ask for funding when you need it the least, because that's probably when your business is the most attractive to funding sources. Listen, as a service-based business, this is even more hard because you don't have any assets. You don't have any equipment or property typically that you can put up as collateral for your funding. So it can be even more challenging to get the funding. That's why when we work with service businesses, we really do work to have the business self-fund its own growth. It is totally possible, but it's going to change. You're going to be required to change how you treat cash in your business to make it happen. So listen, there are grants out there. You can totally go for grants. I find the competition for grants really high. The application complicated for the amount of funding that's there, and then the amount of hoops that you typically have to go through for a $5,000 grant, which, hey, that you could do something with that in your business, but then you have to commit to 9 months of education. And I remember I was on a World Bank call talking about funding, especially for women and minorities, even globally. And there was somebody that came on and said, look, I don't need to learn more. I need funding. I need fuel for the fire. And a lot of times that's very true. I think the other complicating part of this for women entrepreneurs is that women are also less likely to seek funding. So instead of seeking funding, maybe when times are good or ahead of the game, they'll wait longer and longer and longer before they'll actually seek funding. When they do seek funding, statistically, they ask for $35,000 less than their male counterparts. Women are also more likely to use credit cards, 401ks, and savings to fund their business. And I'm not saying any of that is necessarily bad or a poor decision. It might be a great decision for you. But what I think the caution is that things like savings and 401ks are your rainy day fund. And while you could bring it back in tenfold, definitely possible, most people don't have the money practices to make that a reality. And so truly their money practices just drain those reserves versus refilling them, if you will. So it's this underfunding and the way that money works in business and our habits of managing money in the business that truly can leave a business struggling to get to that next level of success. Now, because this is the first part of the work, we always work with the money part first so that we can self-fund growth moving forward. I thought we'd share these 9 proven ways, and let me go over them really fast so that you've got them. 1 is develop a growth plan. 2 is develop a cash flow forecast. 3, strengthen up the numbers in the business. 4, make profitability a priority. 5, lean on mentors and advisors to help you make sense of it all. 6, develop relationships with bankers. 7, find ways to boost revenue with your current client base. 8, find ways to do more with what you have. Important concept there. And 9, finally, is change the nature of cash flow in your business. So let's take them a couple at a time. So first, if we're going to develop a growth plan, why do we need to develop a growth plan? Because truly, if you are going to accurately know what you need to fund, you need to think far enough ahead to understand what the money needs to look like long term. Now, growth requires a lot of investment. You need to know how much that investment is going to cost, but also how long it's going to take to get a return on your investment. So I find that people oftentimes want to grow to fix cash. Growth doesn't fix cash, never will. Because growth has a slower rate of return on cash. And so it requires more cash in the, if you will, if you think of in the engine, before the engine starts to get you somewhere. And so if you can plan this out, you can actually see what your cash need is before you get there. So no surprises, right? With money, we don't like surprises. We want to be fairly reassured in what we will need in order to grow our business. And a growth plan can definitely help you do that. 2 is develop a cash forecast. Now there's lots of tools out there. The amount of money that you have sitting in your bank and the amount of money that's moving back and forth will predicate the detail that you need to have with a cash flow forecast. We obviously like a tool, Pocketsmith. That's our favorite recommendation that we give out all the time because it helps people see their balances on a daily basis. And the reason we like that daily basis is that the average business has anywhere between 9 and 16 days worth of cash on hand. So to look at cash flow on a monthly basis would hide a potential pitfall. I call this tool, this is the Waze operating system for your business. It is the tool that will show you when you might run into danger, when you might, have a pitfall that you need to kind of organize around or re-strategize how to handle in your business. And oftentimes a monthly cash flow forecast won't show you those problems. So develop one. The more you can do it in something that can automatically update for you out of Excel, if you will, the better you'll be. I find Excel sometimes corrupts easily and formulas get changed and missed, and it's a lot to keep up with. So I like tools like Pocketsmith that take care of that for us. 3, strengthen your financials. Your financials tell a story. We do a service called the business audit. When we do this, we look at the financials and we basically take the numbers of the business, the performance of the business, and tell you what it is that it's saying. I can tell you every single time I look at a business's numbers, it tells a story. And oftentimes there are lots of easy peasy ways to strengthen your financials, right? We actually have a download for you today. It's our 21 ways to quickly fund your business growth. It was an article that was featured in entrepreneur.com. We've got it available to you as a download. If you're watching this maybe on Facebook, you can type in the comments 21 ways. If not, we'll include the link. It's just yourbizrules.com/21 ways. And you can grab that article, and it will go a lot more into that strengthening of the financials. So we give you 21 ways to do that. That's what a gold mine that area really is. 4, this is so crucial. And even if you are listening to this thinking you might need funding someday, and you're just a fresh new business, baby of a business, get this right. This will save you years of heartache. Make profitability a priority. Too often people treat profitability as a reward. And I'm here to tell you, there is no profit fairy. There is no profit fairy waiting for you to work hard enough, to work long enough, to be good enough, and then magically you get profit. That is one of the biggest missteps I see service-based businesses doing every single day is profit is not an intention. In a service-based business, right? You have an MVP and that's your minimum viable profitability. It is that point in your business revenue where it's the smallest point in revenue that you actually reach profitability. That should be goal one, right? Is finding that number. A lot of times it's going to be in the six-figure range. I've seen businesses be able to do it at low, super low six figures. A lot of businesses at 200 to 300,000. That's really where their sweet spot is. Don't wait until you're bigger to get profitability. There is nothing, hands down, nothing more frustrating than having a seven-figure business with no profit. Okay, so you can fix that earlier. And this is why this is so important, because if your business is generating profit, and if it generates enough profit, it generates cash. And that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to generate cash. And that's why that's so important. 5, lean on mentors and advisors. Look, listen, you don't need to know everything in your business. You just need to know the right people to ask and people that have experience on the path that you're on, whether it's from a financing standpoint, a funding standpoint, if it's your bookkeeper, your CPA, your banker, who we're going to talk about in a minute, or professionals like myself who really come at it from an entrepreneurial standpoint and help you make sense of your own numbers in a way that feels really easy and good. So take advantage of those people, because oftentimes they can help you find shortcuts that you didn't even know existed. Okay, so 6, develop relationships with your banker before you need it. Every bank has a different flavor, and you really need to understand that there's I won't say a tier system in banking, but there's definitely there's national banks, there's regional banks, there's community banks, there's nonprofits. There are so many different kinds of banks that it is really easy for you to find the one that fits you. But that may not be a national bank. I have banked with national banks and I have banked with a regional bank. And I will tell you, I probably didn't know I needed to talk to my banker as much as I talked to my regional banker. I know that at any point in time, I can pick up that phone and we can chat about this, that, or the other that's going on in my business. And they're an amazing resource. I can't say that I had that kind of relationship at my national bank because I didn't really have that one-to-one banker. So I believe as small business owners that you need to find the right relationship. I know some businesses that, for instance, in Dallas, I happen to know one of our national banks loves restaurateurs. They're a great fit for a small business that might be a restaurant. So it's really about you doing your due diligence and talking to people and seeing if you mesh with them as a banker and as a business owner, because these are the people who can help you get funding. And if you think about it, if your banker knows your business inside and out, you have that relationship, you can tell them what your growth plan opportunities are in your growth plan when you've done the little bit of work there. They can be your advocate on the inside. And sometimes that's the tipping point. That's the thing that can get you over on either a funding journey or a cash flow stabilization plan, any of those types of things. It's just, you've got to talk to them. So don't be afraid to make friends with your banker, and do so before you need them, so that you can get the service that you need and deserve in your business. 7, boost your revenue with current client base. This is another area I love to play in, all right, where we're boosting either the average sale or the times people, how many times people purchase from us, because your current client base, if you think about it, you've already made the investment in achieving and gaining this current client base. And if you can maximize the return in this area, you're essentially taking money to the bottom line. Again, we're driving profits here. And by doing this, you're not going to have to invest any money. It's a quick strategy that if you've got new clients coming in, it's often something we can implement within 30 days to get the cash flow flowing. At the same time, if you can find a way to capture more sales. So again, your marketing is a growth investment. You've already invested this money into your business. These people are already coming to your doorstep. Can you offer them something else? If they couldn't say yes to your core product, can they say yes to something else? And can you do it at a high level of profitability? Again, doing these types of things, especially if you've got a little bandwidth in your team, goes straight to the bottom line. Great ways to self-fund your own business. Number 8, along the same lines, but it's find ways to do more with what you have. Notice, I'm not saying do more with less. I will tell you 9 times out of 10, when I talk about profitability with a client, the first thing they'll say is, I can't cut anything else. I need everything. And that is often true. It's often very true. But the key here is, are you getting the best return on the money that you're spending? So is it a tool? Is it your team? Is it your space or your software? Are you fully utilizing everything that you are already paying for and getting the best return? You're looking to leverage more, and you're looking to maximize more. And when you're finding these opportunities, I'll talk about one real fast: capacity. I find that a lot of people are busy but not productive, and there's a difference. And if we change our expectation into being productive, oftentimes what we find is that most businesses have 10, 20, 30% of a capacity that they could capture, they could maximize. Again, you're already paying for all this stuff. You're paying for your team, you're paying for your systems, you're paying for these things. When you wipe away the clutter, when you strip away the busyness, and you focus on productivity, you get a higher return on your investment, and cash goes to the bottom line. We love this. This is why this is so much fun to me. 9, change the nature of cash flow in your business. Now, the way that we typically do this, especially if we already have a predictive cash flow in place, is we put in a profit plan. We start saving. We start building reserves. We start allocating for future growth opportunities, so that we are going back to number 3, actually, we're strengthening our financials. We're looking more attractive to a bankable type of situation. So these all 9 of these strategies, so they are, and we talked about them, right? 9 proven ways to easily self-fund your business growth for success. If we talk about them: develop a growth plan, know where you're going. 2, develop a cash flow forecast, be able to see your cash on a daily basis. 3, strengthen your financials. 4, make profitability a priority. 5, lean on mentors and advisors. 6, develop relationships with your bankers before you need them. 7, boost your revenue with the clients you have. 8, find ways to do more with what you have. And 9, change the nature of cash flow in your business. All of these proven strategies, they work. You may find that you need one, you may find that you need all 9, and that's okay. But if you can change the nature of cash, if you can self-fund, if you can put cash ahead of growth, you will find that you can grow faster, you can grow more efficiently, you will produce more profit, you will be able to pay your team more, you'll be able to pay yourself more, and get your business to the next level of scalability. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you're doing well. Let me know what you think. And if you need that 21 ways to quickly fund your business growth download, just either type 21 ways in the comment section or head over to yourbizrules.com/21 ways. That's it for today, guys. I'm Leslie Hassler with Your Biz Rules Business Coaching, and may your week be profitable. You didn't stop.